What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to the top 100 released FIFA 20 players video. We're on FUTWiz today because EA just can't get it right, man. It's 3:30 now, or 3:31 actually, so these ratings have been released for 31 minutes and they still aren't showing up on the website. It's just question marks all over the place. Now EA did release it elsewhere. I think people were telling me Instagram that the top 100 got released on as well, and so obviously Foothead, FUTWiz, etc. have been getting on top of things and getting the cards up. So we're going to take a look at them on FUTWiz today. It's in no particular order and no specific fashion, but what I love about what FUTWiz have got going on here is that they've got not only the top 100 but also other players that have been officially announced. But they've also given the stat boosts for each individual card. So we start with Jadon Sancho there. He's gone up from his 72 last year to an 84 this year on the right-hand side with 88 pace and 90 dribbling, which is very good, and 77 passing, 72 shooting. That's a really quality card. Plus 16 and plus 15 in shooting and passing, which is good. De Jong as well, up to an 85, a plus 8 for him. I think this has been done in the fashion of, the increase. In fact, if we go sort by rating, there we go. We can start at the top. We'll start with number 1. And in fact, we've got the official top 10. Again, this is from EA, a post somewhere or another. As you can see, Lionel Messi, number 1. Ronaldo, Neymar, Hazard, De Bruyne, Oblak, Van Dijk, Salah, Modric, and Ter Stegen, as you guys can see coming in here. So Messi stays the same, loses 1 pace, but gets a monster upgrade in physical and passing, plus 5 and plus 4 for him there, which might not be a monster upgrade for somebody who's 80 rated, but somebody who's already 94 rated, that is a big upgrade. He gets a plus 1 in shooting, his dribbling already amazing. Cristiano Ronaldo downgraded from a 94 to a 93, remains the same for pace and shooting, loses 1 physical, loses 1 dribbling, but gains 1 passing. I am absolutely a Ronaldo fanboy. I love Ronaldo. He's one of my all-time favorite players. And I don't think 90 pace is fair for him. I think he should be in the 87, 86, even 85 category. When you look to the players alongside him and how fast they are, Neymar with 91 pace, Hazard with 91 pace, Salah with 93 pace, Ronaldo is just nowhere near that level anymore. But EA have, given him that card. He's still going to be one of the most broken, overpowered cards in the game, I'm sure. Neymar coming in that 3rd spot. No change for him in rating. Plus 4 in passing, plus 1 in shooting. Loses 1 pace, loses 1 physical. Oblak goes up 1. De Bruyne remains the same. Gains 1 defending, loses 1 pace. Hazard remains the same. Loses 1 physical and gains 1 shooting. Salah gets a plus 2 boost and now into the top 10. 1 pace, 2 shooting, 2 passing, and 2 physical. And a very, very good card there as well. Depending on how this game is determined by weak foot and strength and height and power and body type, Salah is either going to be an absolutely unreal card or once again a pretty useless non-meta card. Van Dijk with a big upgrade, plus 5 overall from his 85. Of course, he got upgraded to an 88 from the winter refresh. 6 pace, 5 defending, 2 physical, 3 passing, 2 dribbling. Hands down the most incredible defender we've had in the game as a base defender for a long time. And in my hopeful opinion, wins the Ballon d'Or this year after scoring for Netherlands as well. Just last week, I think he is going to win the Ballon d'Or. I can't see anyone else winning it. Ter Stegen with a plus 1. Modric with that negative 1. And then we get to some interesting ones. So Modric, he went down 1. He lost 2 pace, 1 dribbling, 1 physical, 1 passing, gained 2 defending. Then we go to Lewandowski. Now, this is a very weird one. Somebody sent me a screenshot of Lewandowski, and it's confusing. Last season, so he's been downgraded from a 90 to an 89. He lost 1 pace, which is fair because he's getting older. He lost 2 shooting and 1 passing. And yet, last season, he scored 40 goals in 47 appearances and got 13 assists. And so for an attacker who scored lots of goals and got lots of assists to go down in shooting and passing just doesn't really make sense. Luis Suarez as well, downgraded by 2, loses 7 pace points, 1 shooting, 1 defending, 1 physical, 3 dribbling, and gains 1 passing. And this now looks like the sort of card that is going to be considerably better suited as a cam, not a striker. I can't imagine he's going to be really a go-to guy going forward. Sergio Ramos downgraded by 2, loses 3 pace and 4 defending, but gains 5 shooting, 4 passing, 2 dribbling, and 1 physical. Sergio Aguero remains the same, but loses 4 pace. And as we talked about in yesterday's video, it's been very evident, very clear that EA are completely nerfing pace pretty much across the board for most of the occasion. You know, you can make the example of Van Dijk gaining lots of pace and Ronaldo not losing pace. And when you look at this top 10 and you look that they did drop pace on Messi, on Neymar, on Modric, and on De Bruyne, I would have banked on Ronaldo dropping a couple of pace points. Aguero down 4 pace, Chiellini down 1 pace and 1 defending, but Chiellini still looks like a machine. Great defending and physical, decent pace, especially now like with players like Aguero coming in at 80 pace, and we'll get to Lacazette shortly as well, coming down, well, actually going up to, I think, his 82 pace. But all of a sudden, a 68 to 70, 72 rated pace defender doesn't look bad anymore. You know, in FIFA 19, FIFA 18, I'd look at a defender with less than 70 pace and I just wouldn't even consider them. Now you might be able to go down to the high 60s, maybe 65 through the 68, 70 mark to go there. Kante, guys, remains the same in rating, loses 2 more pace, loses 1 physical and loses 1 shooting. Alisson up 4, including 3 diving, handling, 7 positioning and 1 reflexes, and looks phenomenal. Harry Kane, no change except he gains 1 shooting point. Koulibaly gains 8 dribbling, 1 defending and physical, 8 passing, 2 shooting, but loses 1 pace. And then look at Griezmann as well, another attacker who had good pace last year, who's been crucified, -5 on pace, +7 on defending, 2 physical, 3 passing and 1 dribbling. And I wonder if this whole shift is just a way that EA have anticipated will balance the game more so that pace isn't the key factor. David De Gea, guys, going down 2, losing reflexes, handling, kicking and positioning. Still looks obviously like an insane goalkeeper, 89 rated. Sergio Busquets goes up 1 from an 88 to an 89, but only gains 1 passing and 3 dribbling, loses 1 pace. Kylian Mbappe, not only has he gone up 2, but his position changed to a striker. We looked at him yesterday. Phenomenal card, 84 shooting, 75 physical now, and 90 dribbling with the 5-star skill moves. And then Aubameyang. Aubameyang for me is a weird one, 88 rated. It says +1, but again, based on his winter refresh card, he had an 88 rated winter refresh, so he does get a +1 over his base 87. But his winter refresh last year, he already had 85 shooting, he had 71 physical, he had 76 passing. So they've actually downgraded him from his winter refresh. They've kept the shooting the same. They've dropped his dribbling by 2. So his 87 rated card last year started with 80 dribbling. He then got upgraded to 82. Now they've removed that dribbling boost. They've removed 2 physical off of him. And for me, I can't imagine he finished Golden Boot winner in the Premier League for a team that finished 5th in the league. I don't understand how he can have 85 shooting and then, for example, Royce, but more deceptively, somebody like James Rodriguez, wherever we get to him, has like 86 shooting. I don't get it, basically. I don't get it. I don't think Aubameyang deserves shooting that low. I think 87 or 88 would be much better suited. And to downgrade a guy after a season he had is crazy. Cavani, another pace downgrade, 1 shooting, 1 dribbling down. Marco Reus's card looks phenomenal. In at a cam spot now as well, 88 rated with 88 shooting. His passing and dribbling are amazing. His pace is amazing. His physical's gone up 2. The only thing I hope for is that his stamina is going to be good. Now, what was really interesting here is this is a +3 on his base card last year. Now, compared to his winter refresh card last year, they've actually dropped his pace by 1, upped his shooting by 1, dropped his passing by 1, dribbling remains the same. They've dropped his defending by 1, and they've dropped his physical by 3. So his physical has gone from 69 last year in FIFA 19 at the end of the game cycle to 66. Now, this is a guy that got 3 informs and 1, 2, 3 player of the months from the Bundesliga, including the headliner card and then team of the season as well. He has 73 base stamina on his 88 card last year, and they've downgraded that card by 3 points. If he goes down to 70 stamina or somewhere around that area, he'll be just largely unusable yet again because he just doesn't last in the game. Toni Kroos with a -2 overall and 22 pace, bringing his card down. Pretty good card all up for his dribbling, shooting and passing. He's just going to be too slow. Diego Godin, again, not a bad card for defending and physical. Very tall as well. Just a little bit slow. David Silva has been downgraded by 1 and getting downgraded with physical, dribbling and pace. Hugo Lloris remains the same, but has a stats shift. Manuel Neuer loses 2. Handanovic remains the same. Gerard Piqué getting a +1 and getting a good stat boost across the board. Dybala coming down by 1, but getting a monster upgrade in defending, +15 there. Loses 2 pace, 3 shooting, 2 physical and 1 dribbling. Edison up 2 to an 88, and again a very good goalkeeper card. Then we've got some of the better players, some of the players that I think are going to be more attainable, more enjoyable in the game. Mane, good pace, good dribbling, good shooting, not great shooting for a guy that finished Golden Boot winner in the Premier League. You would expect it to be more than a +3, but a good looking card nonetheless. And Raheem Sterling, very similar actually, very similar pace, very similar dribbling, very similar passing, all within 1. Mane has considerably more physical. Sterling gets a big +3 upgrade. Paul Pogba remains the same with a small blanket downgrade across the card and +2 on the shooting. Courtois down 2. And loses stats everywhere except speed. Eriksen remains the same for rating, loses pace, shooting, dribbling, and physicals. Gains 1 in passing. Thiago gets a +1, loses 4 pace. Jordi Alba loses 3 pace. Other than that, remains pretty much the same. Alderweireld with a +2, gains some pace. Not a bad card there either. And then Hummels there, guys. Look at that, -14 pace for Hummels. He goes down from an 89 to an 87, loses huge amounts of pace. Dries Mertens, again, losing pace, losing physical. Vertonghen remains basically the same. Benzema gets a +3 across the board with big upgrades across the board other than in pace. Good dribbling upgrade. And again, this is now a card that is actually an extremely usable card in the early stages because of how high that dribbling is, how good that shooting and passing could potentially be boosted by chem stars. It's not bad. Thiago Silva obliterated with a -9 pace, loses 1 defending and 1 physical, and is no longer I mean, he wasn't really used much last year anyway because he's at 6 foot. He's a little bit short for what you can do in FIFA. Fernandinho with a +1 and a very, very weird upgrade there. 1 defending and physical, less 1 passing. Bernardo Silva a +3 with a good upgrade across the board and quite a good card. I'd probably prefer to play that card centrally, which I think is where he spends most of his time with Man City anyway. But yeah, I think the shooting would be nice to see on what the stats are. Laporte with a big +4, big upgrade in defending and physical, dribbling and passing, loses 1 pace. Casemiro drops 1 but doesn't lose any pace and has pretty much the same stats. Heung-min Son with a nice upgrade, and what's more important about this upgrade isn't the +3 or the small stat boost that he gets compared to last year. It's actually that position change. Now at a centre forward role, 88 pace, 87 dribbling, 86 shooting, with the 5-star weak foot and the 4-star skill moves. This card is going to be very, very, very good in the early stages of the game. Insigne with a -1, loses pace, defending and physical, gains big shooting upgrade there. For me, never a card I use, too short. Navas remains the same. Isco with a huge downgrade, an across-the-board downgrade. Verratti we've already looked at. Lacazette with an upgrade that I think is thoroughly deserved. You know, Arsenal's player of the year. And this, for me, with how pace has been kind of dictated over the course of what we've seen so far with these players, 82 pace for Lacazette, coupled with 85 shooting and 86 dribbling, I think he's going to be a machine at the start. 4-star skill moves, I would assume. 4-star weak foot, I would hope as well. He scores a fair few goals on his left foot for Arsenal. Not enough to determine a 5-star, but yeah, good upgrade for Lacazette there. Di Maria we've already looked at. Immobile with a downgrade, 2 pace, 2 shooting, 1 dribbling. Thomas Muller stays the same, gets a shift in stats, and then Parejo again stays the same but loses 6 pace points. Coutinho down 2, gets a negative across the board other than in defending. Szczesny +2, but that was his winter refresh anyway. And Bonucci there remains the same but loses some pace. Pjanic doesn't really look like a good card, never has, never will. Even his high-end cards aren't really that usable. Rakitic the same, just because he has a really weird kind of stat distribution, you know, good pace shooting and dribbling, but not the best anywhere else. And you struggle to utilize those players, and we're going to get to a few more in just a second that you're just not really going to be able to utilize. Skriniar gets a +1 but loses 3 more pace points, doesn't gain anything in defending and physical. Sané remains the same, good pace, good dribbling, decent shooting as well, coupled with good passing and okay physical for a winger. Kimmich gets a +1 to an 86. which I also think was his winter refresh, right? And loses 1 pace again, and a big upgrade. Marquinhos gets a +2, but loses 1 more pace, gets some good stat upgrade there. And Titi gets crucified, loses 1 overall, loses 3 pace. And his card now, it will be okay early game again, because you've got that, you know, like 69 to 70 pace for a centre-back is looking to be quite good for the early stages when coupled with very good defending and physical, which he has. But he has been downgraded a fair bit. And then Firmino, no change in his rating, but loses a shooting and gains a dribbling. Alaba, no change really at all, a small shift in stats. De Ligt gets a +5, but again, loses a pace point and doesn't really get +5 boost in any way. 3 dribbling, 3 defending, 2 physical. Koke remains the same with the stats rework there. Rodri gets a +3, but again, loses pace and shooting, gains mammoth defending and physical upgrades, which is very nice. Manolas with that +7 shooting. I think he scored a goal last year, didn't he? Which is probably where that comes from. Loses only 1 pace point, which is nice, and makes him probably one of the best starter centre-backs along with Van Dijk, you know, in the game. Not taking in consideration icons, I would say Van Dijk is probably the best centre-back in the game, and Manolas up there, maybe the 2nd or 3rd best with all that pace and that good defending. Donnarumma with a big +3 and some good stats there. De Jong with a massive +8 and looks to be a very, very good candidate for a well-rounded box-to-box midfielder. Good pace, good defending and physical combination there with great dribbling and passing. It's his shooting that's not very good, but maybe using him as a holding midfielder or as a centre midfielder would be very good. Saul with not much change. Romelu Lukaku, another one who's been obliterated in the pace department. Gets a -9, loses 3 dribbling, 2 shooting, 3 passing, and 3 physical, and has just been crucified. Milinkovic-Savic, basically the same with a little pace downgrade. Alexandro there, probably not going to be as useful as well now with a -2 pace. He loses 1 overall as well. Jimenez with a little upgrade. Witsel with a very nice upgrade, especially that 8 defending on Witsel and that 3 passing makes him an incredibly well-rounded player and is probably going to be a go-to guy. The fact that you can strong link him to Royce as well, which is nice. Marcelo with a -3 down to an 85. That's an interesting one. Probably thoroughly deserved as well. He's getting old now, and you know he's just not. You know, Real Madrid in general just not what they've been. Gets a +3 in shooting, but a blanket downgrade across the rest of his stats. Robertson with a +4 and a very good looking card, but Toby pointed out to me that a guy with 85 rating only has 1 stat at 85, and then look at that 60, 77, 75, 79, 80. If you were to look at that card and guess his rating, you probably would guess like an 82 or an 81, if that, maybe even an 80 rated. Matuidi with a downgrade in stats, even though his face card remains the same. Bruno Fernandes with a really nice upgrade, defending, physical, dribbling, shooting, and passing, but loses that 1 pace. Gomez with a +1. Sule becoming a very, very strong candidate for another brilliant defender. 72 pace, 86 defending, and 82 physical. A +1 upgrade overall, but a really, really big boost on him. Ibrahimovic remains the same, but gets crucified with a bit more pace. Fabinho remains the same, but loses a bit more pace. Ziyech gets a +3 upgrade, but loses 7 defending and 1 physical, but does gain 5 pace and not a lot else. And then Carvajal, Varane, Icardi, Allen, and Rodriguez come in for the last few players here. So Carvajal with a +1 and a decent card there as well, to be fair. And Varane as well, another one of those great starting centre-backs. 85 rated with 83 pace and 85 defending is very, very strong. Icardi loses an overall of 2. Loses 3 pace, 2 dribbling, and 3 physical, and 1 shooting. And then Allen there has a brilliant card, a +3 for him. If this guy gets a couple of special cards, informs, man of the matches or SBC cards or whatever, he could be an absolute machine in the first 3, 4, 5 months before we really start getting into the bulk of like the special cards. Great defending, dribbling, and physical, and then good pace, shooting, and passing. And then James Rodriguez, he goes down 3 overall, but he's shooting at 86 and he's dribbling at 86. This is what bothers me a little bit about Aubameyang. Somebody he scored 8 goals in 28 games or something like that last season, maybe 7 goals in 28 games, and he still has 86 shooting. He lost 17 pace points, 4 physical points, and other than dribbling, shooting, and passing, looks entirely unusable. Sad that EA's site hasn't worked. It would have been nice. Maybe it's working now. Maybe it's not. Yeah, there we go. So it is. And have they given... All right, so that's interesting. They have given skill moves and weak foot. The reason why I was going to say it's sad is because I would love to have seen the skill moves and weak foot. So Messi 4-4, Ronaldo 5-4 still, Neymar 5-5 still, Hazard 4-4, De Bruyne 4-5, which is brilliant. Oblak 1-3, Van Dijk 2-3, Salah 4-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. Modric is still 4-4. Does it have this? Oh, wow. So skill moves for Griezmann, 3-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves. Kante, 2-star, 3-star. Koulibaly, 2-star, 3-star. Harry Kane still only has that 4-star weak foot. I personally think it should be 5-star. Lewandowski with a 4-4. Aguero with a 4-4. Sergio Ramos with the 3-3. Mbappe, 5-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Mbappe is still going to be an absolute machine. Christian Eriksen, 4-5, which is very nice. Toni Kroos still has that 5-star weak foot. Mane with the 4-4. I think this card could be brilliant, Mane. Great pace, great dribbling, good physical for a winger as well, with good shooting. And then 4-star, 4-star is absolutely brilliant. Aubameyang, 4-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Is that an upgrade for him? Didn't he have 3-star skill moves this year? No, he was 4-4 already. Sterling, 4-star skill moves as well. Luis Suarez down. Well, he's been down a couple of years now, hasn't he? At 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. Busquets, 3-star, 3-star. Then 40 to 31, we've got Dybala, 4-3. David Silva, 4-star skill moves, 2-star weak foot as per usual. Royce, 4-4 again, which is really nice. Pogba, 5-star, 4-star there. Cavani with 3-star skill moves and 4-star weak foot. Lacazette with the 4-4. So Aubameyang and Lacazette. Now Lacazette had 3-star something, didn't he? No, he had 4-4 as well. Interesting. I thought one of the Arsenal attackers was a 3-star weak foot or 3-star skill moves. But 4-4 for him. Di Maria was still with 5-2. Pjanic with the 4-star weak foot. Sané with the 4-star skill moves and 3-star weak foot still. Kimmich not too bad either there, 3-4. Insigne with the 4-4. And then Dries Mertens still with 4-4 as well. Thiago still has the 5-star skill moves. Bernardo Silva still has a 4-star skill moves. Son still has the 4-star skill moves and the 5-star weak foot, which is, of course, very, very nice. Benzema still has the 4-star, which, again, is very, very nice. And then moving on to the last few players here. Witzel with the 4-star. He is going to be a monster in this year's game. 4-star skill moves for De Jong as well. 2-star weak foot still for James Rodriguez. Marcelo keeps his 5-4 as well, which is quite nice. Coutinho keeps his 5-4 as well, even though he had a downgrade there as well. Other than that, nobody really stands out. Verratti with the 4-4 still. Firmino with the 4-4 still, which is quite nice. And then going down into these last ones, Ibrahimovic. So we missed out on a few players here from FootWiz that we can have a look at now. Ibrahimovic there, still 85 rated, 5-star, 4-star, which is great. Bruno Fernandes, 4-4, which is great. Ziyech with the 4-star skill move, sadly still has that 2-star weak foot. Rodri looks okay. Milinkovic-Savic doesn't look quite good as this 85. He's going to need a few more upgrades again before he can be considered like a meta card in many regards. But 4-star, 4-star, which is nice. And then that's pretty much it. Alaba there, 85 rated, a decent looking card, still 4-star weak foot. Matuidi, still decent, but 2-star makes him relatively unusable. Then Lukaku still has that 4-star weak foot, but doesn't look like a very good card at all. And Gomez is still 4-star as well. Sule, Sandro, Fabinho, and De Ligt don't really make all that much difference. But that, guys, is the top 100. Their skill moves and weak foot. Lots to digest there, you know. I definitely think that the top 10 can be contended in many regards. I think there's a lot of things wrong in the top 10 personally. Let me know what you guys think. I think the fact that certain players have had downgrades or stat shifts that don't really represent how they played throughout the course of the year is a bit weird. Hopefully they get rectified throughout the year. But overall, I think what EA have tried to do, from just my perception here, is they've tried to reduce the impact of pace and increase the impact of defending and passing by the way that these stats are looking. But that is a top 100 players right there, guys. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.